72 Juliet Bravo, Southwest Tower.
Bravo, this will be a simulated engine out.
That is not surprising to me, thank you.
It's nice to have weather. I haven't had weather in a while. Giving us a wide berth.
Check gear.
202 knots.
Stall.
Run the risk of doing airframe damage. So that's actually a pretty big nasty. We're back in the plane at ACI Jet Center, heading back to Santa Monica from San Luis Obispo. Tower 782 Juliet Bravo, holding short, ready, Alpha 29.
782 Juliet Bravo, Southwest Tower, runway 29er, clear for takeoff. You can do left or right turn on course.
Appreciate that. 782 Juliet Bravo, we'll do a right turn on course.
Stall.
Departure 127.72, good day.
Over to departure, good day, 782 Juliet Bravo. And departure Mooney 782 Juliet Bravo through 1,300 for 1,500, right downwind for direct to Santa Monica.
Number 782 Juliet Bravo, Santa Barbara departure right at.
Here we go.
72 Juliet Bravo, radar contact, 1.5 miles north of San Luis Airport, San Luis altimeter 2989er. Say again, your current altitude?
1,660, 782 Juliet Bravo.
Juliet Bravo, traffic 11 o'clock in 8 miles southwest on descending for San Luis, a twin Cessna out of 4,000.
Okay, we're looking for that twin Cessna, 782 Juliet Bravo.
Twin Cessna 956, traffic 1 o'clock in 9 miles southeastbound to Mooney, climbing out of 2,500.
Thanks a lot, 956.
22 Juliet Bravo, with the terrain, are you able to turn 10 degrees to the left?
Yeah, sure, 10 left for 782 Juliet Bravo.
Thank you.
That looks like a thunderstorm cloud. Let's take a look and see what there's
direct San Marcos.
going on here with the weather.
San Marcos, 36.
It is. Look at that. We have a little bit of weather off our right there. Let's find out which way it's moving. This way. We can decide if we're going to trail it or not. I think we're going to go west of that buildup. That's back there. San Luis, 782 Juliet Bravo. Looks like that buildup is going to be directly along our path. So we're going to head a little bit west if that's okay, about 10 degrees west.
72 Juliet Bravo, it's approved and requested. It's on course.
782 Juliet Bravo. Directly on our way, look at that.
2,600 climbing with VFR request.
Trail right behind it.
About 4,000.
Used to getting a lot of weather out here in California. I'm from the East Coast, so used to get a lot of weather out there. The boost pump off, since we're climbing nicely. And our cylinder head temperatures are still cool. So these symbols on here can be up to, actually, depending upon whether the cycle comes every time, they can be up to, I've seen them 20 minutes old or more. So the radar, I think, goes around every 2 minutes. The transmission from XM comes out every 5 to 10 minutes. If the transmission just missed the radar going around, then it can be significant delay between what we're seeing and what's there. But what we're seeing is pretty easy to see. You know, if you have a bunch of clouds and you're in the soup or in the clouds and you can't see anything. Los Angeles Center, Mooney 782 Juliet Bravo through 8,300 for 1,500.
Mooney 782 Juliet Bravo, Los Angeles Center. Roger, the Santa Maria altimeter 29991.
991, and just to let you know, we're not going direct, we're going behind this cell that's in front of us. We're going a little bit to the west for 782 Juliet Bravo.
That is not surprising to me, thank you.
So the tops of that sometimes it'll give you on this, but the tops of that are close, I'm guessing probably 30,000. You just put on echo tops, and then you can see here, if you look at the legend, you can see that the tops, when it's really white, so it's not, they're not exact, but it's probably closer to about 30,000. Really interesting that we have weather. It's nice to have weather. I haven't had weather in a while. Even though we're going southeast, but turning a little bit to the west, we're still headed to the east. So our cardinal heading will still be an odd plus 500. And I'm going to use the heading right now instead of our navigation, which takes us back directly to Santa Monica. We're just going to use the heading bug. When the autopilot's on, it's capturing the heading, or it's captured the heading, and it's not capturing the altitude, though. Reason not capturing the altitude. There it goes. Now it's capturing it. I will start coming back on the engine. Our cruise power setting. Again, I don't want to spend too much time at peak. So I want to get through the peak, go to the lean side, and then quickly go back to the rich. It's going to be around 21 point something or other, so.
Yeah, it's 3842, contact SoCal approach 128.5, thanks for the help. 28.5 Skywatch, 3842, anytime, yeah.
We're 20 or 50 rich a peak, which is what the manual recommends, but keep it a little bit richer than that. It should be good.
283, 276, descending 24.
I'll keep an eye on the cylinder head temperatures.
283, Los Angeles Center.
We're already at 202 knots up here, which is nice. Check the weather at Santa Monica. 240 at 9 knots, view at 800, so nothing going on in Santa Monica. Giving this a wide berth. When I was flying in Alaska, a lot of the small planes, I would report how high they looked. I would report the tops. Because up there they don't have any radar in a lot of areas. And I would make the pilot reports. And they would ask me, even the flight service stations would ask me, yeah, but what's the bottoms? Because a lot of people would try and go underneath these. Caution doing that because you can get significant downdrafts out of a thunderstorm. You want to stay away from the downdrafts. So you want to give it a significant berth. We're going behind it, so I'm giving it about, I'm going to say, good 15 miles here behind this thunderstorm. Now we have some red sections and then the lightning strikes that are in there. So if you look over there, you'll probably see some lightning strikes. And again, the lightning strikes on XM are in a 4-kilometer grid, so you really can't tell where they are per se. It's not something to use to go around multiple cells. It's just to give you an idea of where convection is. 203 knots. I like when the airplane is doing well. Look at it. That's a pretty big nasty. I'm putting in map waypoint, which I quickly put up there as we're going there, but now I added it into the flight plan so that it's part of our flight plan. So I can give us a vertical nav profile, and I don't want to go down very quickly, but I want to be at around 4,000 feet by the time we get there. So I'll put that in. Then I'll go to the vertical nav profile, and I'll put down that I want to go down at about, 500 feet a minute, a nice comfortable descent, okay? And then it'll say time of descent 6 minutes. So in 6 minutes, the plane will go down by itself if I hit the vertical nav button. So my vertical path now has been activated, right? So then I can start going down on that general, plane will do it automatically for us. As we go abeam this, our wing it gets past that, then I'm going to go direct Santa Monica. So when you're doing a lot of flying around weather like this, there's a whole hierarchy of air traffic controllers. It starts with the ATC-SCC, which is the Air Traffic Control Strategic Command Center, which I hope is still based out of the Washington, D.C. area. Then there's the individual centers like Los Angeles, Cleveland, all the air route traffic control centers, so there are TCCs. And then there's the TRACONs, which is the next level down. And each one has different levels of radar help that they can give you, which is really nice. And it looks like we gave the cell enough berth. 782 Juliet Bravo is now going direct to Santa Monica. So we're talking to Los Angeles Center right now, which is an ARTCC. The only thing above that is, again, the ATC-SCC. And it has to do with what altitude you're at, and whether or not there are TRACONs that work up higher. Then there's the towers. So it's ATC, SCC, ARTCCs, TRACONs, towers. Oftentimes the most and the best help that you can get with radar, they have the best radar available, usually, are the TRACONs, and sometimes they can they'll volunteer to guide you between cells. Which is another reason why you're in an all-electric airplane. You do have these kind of backups that are hooked up directly to the battery if you lose these, but it's an all-electric airplane, so it's important to make sure that your static wicks are okay so that you have an exit route if you get hit with lightning. If you get hit with lightning, I mean, it doesn't necessarily do anything bad to you. Might put a little hole in the cowling somewhere, I've seen that, and then see one of the static wicks burnt off. It just goes right through the airplane, but it can really destroy the electronics on the airplane. You don't want to get too close to them. And look, so it looks like they put up something here, this Sigmat, and we're staying just outside of it, so that's perfect. See that? We're staying literally just outside it. They created this like octagonal shape around it.
Vertical track.
Now it's going to start going down on its own. Shame, because we're doing a nice 202 knots up here. And Center 782 Juliet Bravo is going to start down on record. We have to make sure that the manually selected altitude is lower than the one that's in the flight plan, otherwise it won't capture it.
Climb unrestricted, and after...
We're doing 202 knots, that's normal for us up here. And then we'll start down. As soon as this intercepts, it'll start down. So we get down in time by the Class Bravo airspace. Now we're headed down.
United 283, descend and maintain 11.
Back on the power a little bit. We're tilted that way a little bit because the rudder trim was off, so you can feel that. You don't even have to look at it. You can tell when your plane's not flying straight. And we only have 13 minutes left. Start coming more back on our power. Otherwise, we're going to start as we get lower, and the indicated airspeed starts approaching the true airspeed, and our density altitude starts approaching that at sea level. In order to maintain that same true airspeed, our indicated airspeed is going to be an awful lot higher, and that's when you run the risk of doing airframe damage, right? You enter one of the 4 final pathways of destruction, so you want to stay out of that. But this is really smooth air here, so I'm okay with just being a little bit in the yellow.
Contact SoCal 128.5.
A little bit above BNO.
128.5, SkyWest 5920. Good day.
Maybe too much rudder. That's good. Coming back on the power. Now we only have 12 minutes. Good afternoon, Mooney 782 Juliet Bravo, descending out of 10,300.
782 Juliet Bravo, move to approach with altimeter 2992.
Oh, standard barrow, thanks, 782 Juliet Bravo. The standard metric pressure at sea level, if the temperature were the standard temperature, then it would be the same as being in a standard atmosphere. But my guess is up here, let's say it's 1510 minus 3 per thousand.
400, say your type of aircraft again, please.
So that would be -5. -5 degrees Celsius, but we're positive 10, so we're 15 degrees above it. So our density altitude's going to be higher, obviously. Tower 782 Juliet Bravo, descending out of 4,300, coming up over the ridges.
Number 782 Juliet Bravo, Santa Monica Tower, right base, runway 21, clear to land. Confirm you have ATIS Quebec.
We have Quebec, right base, clear to land, 782 Juliet Bravo. Let's do this. Let's do the OBS. Do 1. 782 Juliet Bravo, this will be a simulated engine out. Just want to give you a heads up, gear's coming down late.
Roger.
Check gear. 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 Check gear.
Still have too much energy.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
Number 2 Juliet Bravo, contact ground.
Over to ground, 782 Juliet Bravo, good day. 782 Juliet Bravo, upper south, Bravo 3, clear.
782 Juliet Bravo, San Luis Obispo, taxi to south via Bravo.
Taxi to upper south via Bravo, 782 Juliet Bravo. We'll see you for another adventure. I hope you find it interesting, fun, and maybe at times informative. See you soon.